Hi there, it's Denise from Balance Me Coaching, and I love bringing you different ideas to reduce stress in your life. And today I've got Julia with me, who's a music therapist. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a certified music therapist. I specialize in neurologic music therapy, so really figuring out how music affects the brain and how to use that knowledge to produce functional changes that help people related to different types of goals. They could be social goals, physical goals, emotional goals, that sort of thing.
Neat. So you have a burnout story, I understand. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of one specific burnout story, there's not a large one, but being in the helping field as a music therapist, it's something that we have to constantly be aware of. I mean, and anybody in any sort of helping field will relate. That if our clients are going through something, it can be really hard to leave it at work and not bring it home. So, it kind of goes in waves, and you have to keep yourself in check and balance. So, I mean, that's my experience. So I'm constantly keeping myself in check, making sure that I don't get to the point where burnout causes me to not like my work that I do, or to affect my family. And I also help others with that as well. So other music therapists, I help train interns as well. So it's something that I'm very familiar with.
So how do you use music and how do you help people with music?
So the thing about music is that when you listen to it or when you participate in it, it produces anatomical changes and functional changes within the brain. So that means the actual shape of your brain can change, and also the pathways in your brain. So the way you use it is to change the brain patterns, which in turn affect your body. So if you think of heart rate, breath, even thought patterns, that kind of thing, you can use music to help change that. And there's different aspects of music that you can change. And so without getting too technical, there's pitch, there's rhythm, there's volume, there's lyrics, all those things you can manipulate, and in turn create changes within your brain and your body.
Okay, could you give us an example how it would reduce your stress?
Yeah, for sure. So for example, let's use rhythm. So we know that rhythm, again, activates all sorts of areas of your brain. And when we think about rhythm, there's the different aspects. So tempo, so how fast you're going, fast or slow. There's rhythmic patterns, and there's, meter, like if you're doing like a marching style or a waltz style, that's kind of meter, and also durations of the phrase. So one thing that, and I think a lot of us do it naturally, but if we're listening to a song with a faster tempo, a faster rhythm, or more in the rhythm, our heart rate goes up, and sometimes when your heart rate goes up, that's when you feel more anxiety, or it could be excitement too. But if we're just talking about anxiety, that could be anxiety. So what we do is we use music, change the rhythm, maybe bring it so that it's slower, maybe less patterns inside. So even if you think of, you can use songs on the radio if you have slower songs that you can use to lower your heart rate for that.
Wonderful. And so what are some of the specific ways or different techniques that people can use to avoid burnout?
Yeah, well, using music, there's a few ways, and just without using a certified music therapist, you could always contact one as well to work on it. But for things that you can do at home yourself, the most probably accessible way is using music listening. If you don't play any instruments, and it's pretty easy to access songs. So what you can do is you can actually create playlists with certain moods or certain intentions. And it can also be a changing playlist as well. So for example, let's say you come home from work or a meeting or something like that, and you know that you're really excited or you get anxious when you do meetings. So you know you're gonna come and be feeling that. So one thing you can do is you first match how you're feeling. So you know you're going to feel anxious or whatever. So you pick a higher pace song and pick something that you like. Everybody likes things different, so I can't say this song will definitely work. And then you make the next song a little bit slower and a little bit slower and a little bit slower. And for everyone, there's different things. So some people might just need two songs. Other people, might need a 25-minute playlist. Other people need the hour. So it depends what you need. So you can experiment with that. Or you can also use it the other way. If you want to motivate yourself, and I think we all kind of have that song, like, oh, our house cleaning song. You press play, and then you house clean, and it's a whole lot funner. So you can set playlists just for one mood as well, to help prepare your body and your brain for what you want to accomplish or what you're about to do.
Now, who's your clientele right now? Like, what kind of people do you help?
I have a pretty wide range of clientele right now. I actually work a lot with adults with autism and children with autism, people with stroke, brain injuries. With that, there's a lot of, emotional regulation, increased anxiety and stuff like that. So there's that, Alzheimer's, dementia. And then, like I said previously, the supervision for professionals. I do a lot of that as well.
Wow. So you must be kept quite busy.
Yes, I am. And, the homeschooling on the side.
That's great. I never thought of it because I do recommend to my clients to create a morning ritual. And for me, when I do my playlist, I like the sort of the up tempo and get the day started sort of thing. And I never thought of that if I was planning on going somewhere to start here and then reduce my tempo to bring myself back down, which is a really unique idea.
Yeah, and really, like, the great thing about it is it's working your brain and your body, right? So even if you're if you're in a different space, you can use a playlist to change your mindset to where you want to be.
And that's what I love about music too, because when you are listening to music, I don't find you're worrying about things. You're into the music, whether you're listening to the actual music or the words to the music. It gives you that freedom for a while away from all the chatter in your head.
For sure. Another thing that I recommend to some people, and again, if you're comfortable with this, but is actually songwriting. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, a song with a piano and guitar background or something like that. It could just be words, and when you do that, you can really customize it to what you're feeling. And again, I use a lot of that where you're starting out with a certain feeling. We'll just stick with anxiety. So you're feeling anxious, and you make a a part of the song about why you feel anxious, what's happening to your body, you add that into the song, and then you change it to, okay, here's what I can control, right? Or why I'm doing this, why I'm going through this period of anxiety. Why are you doing it? Oh, well, to, help my family, to learn, to earn a living, to practice being brave, or whatever, that kind of thing. It's really, you can make it what you want. So if people want to try that as well, it's always a good thing to try.
That's very creative. It's almost like a journaling, but on a music scale,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah.
nice.
And the great thing, like if you make a little melody to it, our brain remembers, can chunk musical information better than just verbal or read language. So you can actually, in a situation, be like, oh, and then start it, and then you can get your brain will start that pathway to move you from anxiety to calm, or whatever your goal is.
Neat. Okay, we'll just wrap things up here. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience of how to reduce stress?
Yeah, I guess what I would say is just be aware of your body and your brain and what it's telling you. And before you begin, a new project or a new task, really prepare yourself and set up support systems. So if we're keeping on music, set up those songs, those playlists that are going to help prepare you for whatever project you might be starting, and make sure that you set intentional time to relax. So even the process of creating a playlist will be that intentional time. So just making sure that you set that up for yourself.
And as you mentioned too, like for someone, it could be, one or two songs, and someone else might take an hour. Depends on how long it takes them to relax their mind, really.
Yep. Yep.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Julia. And I will be putting Julia's information in the comments if you want to get in touch with her. So thank you so much for your time.
All right, great. Thanks for having me.
Have a great one. Thank you for listening. Just a final note, if you're struggling with burnout or chronic stress, I have free resources such as a podcast, Facebook support group, my blog. To get these free resources, please visit my website at www.balance-me.ca. Now, this is Denise Eckert signing off, and contact me if you're looking to create a happier, more balanced lifestyle today.